20 years, LegalZoom's online tools and network of attorneys have helped over 4 million.
Greetings. Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. This is a cup of conversation and food for thought. Um, I'm trying to eliminate some of the background so you can see just enough, but not too much. All right. I want to start off by saying I do not own the rights to the music. The music is just music playing in the background for entertainment purposes, and this content is for entertainment purposes. Let me start that over. The music is to set the tone so that the conversation can flow in a direction, and it's to help me stay grounded. Um, so, also, please be at least 21 years of age to contribute and to be part of this conversation. Because this is an attempt to come on to encourage and uplift, to help people. By no means do I come on here to try to make anybody feel less or discouraged or anything like that. I come on to encourage and uplift. So that's why I put that age stipulation there. I don't mind people coming up and want to join the panels. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for joining the live. I just ask that when you come on and join to be on a panel to contribute to conversation, please be mindful that it's a wide range of people. So don't get stuck on what you would do as far as religion and so forth. So just keep an open mind, because this is an attempt to encourage, uplift everybody, to help everybody see things in a different perspective. So that's my little disclaimer I'm going to put on. And as always, when I come on, I pray. And when I pray for me. I include those in there who are willing to want to be in it. But never do I make anybody pray, or do I pray for people because I'm led to, I don't make myself do that. I pray for me so that I can flow in this cup of conversation and food for thought. So I'm coming on, giving honor and glory to God, Mother, Father, Universe. Thank you for waking us up this morning. Thank you for waking me up this morning. Thank you for giving me the strength and energy to get up and come forward and to come on this live. Continue to have your way with me and my family. Continue to protect us and keep us safe. Thank you for watching over us as we slept throughout the night. Keep us fully dressed in the full armor of God, the helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, shield of faith, sword of God's holy word, but the truth and shoes of peace. Continue to keep us, order our steps, direct our path. Continue to provide for us mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, in every way possible. Continue to just love on me and love on us. Less of me, God, more of you. Allow me to speak words to encourage your people. Allow me to be able to reach those, whether it's on this live or if they come on to see this at another date. But thank you, God, for just being so awesome and so wonderful. Giving much gratitude and big respect to our big brother Jesus, archangels, guardian angels, all angels, knights, Christ light, ancestors, guardian ancestors, spirit team here for our thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And someone asked me where I was from. I'm located in North Carolina. Thank you for joining the live. Thank you for the hearts. Much appreciated. So I want to come on, and the topic of discussion that I want to talk about is what happens after the honeymoon phase. Okay? This conversation is probably going to run in different directions, and it's okay. This is a cup of conversation, food for thought. It's to reach those who it needs to reach. Thank you for joining my live. Much appreciated. So I'm very transparent. So sometimes I'll share some things that I have gone through so that you can get an idea of where I'm coming from. And feel free to share your standpoints, aspects as well. So as I was scrolling through the TikTok and looking at different phases to where they had the topics on after the honeymoon stage. And I've seen a lot of people up there talk about how everything is good in the beginning. And I can attest to that. In the beginning, everything is good. Everything is wonderful in the beginning. Your partner can do no wrong. You're getting to know each other. You like the way they make you feel. You laugh, you talk, you joke. You get to see the softer side of each other. And that's all good and intended on and supposed to happen in the beginning, because that's how you got to find that vibe. You got to find that attraction. Whatever it is that you liked about each other that brought you guys together. That is, it's fun meeting people. It's very fun meeting people. And you get to know the true character of a person too. You can tell by certain things that they do that might turn you off or might turn you on, whatever the case might be. Things that you thought was cute in the beginning can be the same things that's going to turn that person against you in the end. So One of the first things I noticed after the relationship phase or after the honeymoon phase is avoidance. People tend to avoid who they really are. If somebody does something to uh, trigger the other person, depending on how they feel about the person, how good the relationship is, they're not going to be honest about the avoidance of what it is that you did that triggered them until it turns into an argument. And usually in the beginning of the relationship, you don't have too many arguments. You everything is flowing. Everything is some might say Gucci or golden. Good morning. Thank you for joining the live. So, you don't have any problems in the beginning, but it's after that point there becomes a problem. There becomes an issue. In the beginning, attractions, uh, people attract each other. Um, Likewise. Okay, so what I was trying to say, the same thing that somebody can find interesting and cute about you in the beginning could be that same thing that can turn that person against you after that honeymoon phase. I often say if you're going to argue with somebody, argue. You have to get things out, but don't go below the belt. And I'm going to talk about what going below the belt means because every time someone I get into an argument with somebody and they go below the belt, oh, that's not going below the belt. If I'm telling you you're going below the belt, honey, you're going below the belt because it's my feelings that you're affecting. If you tell me that I'm going below the belt, then I have to respect what you say because you're telling me how you feel. So here are some going below the belt type of things that couples do in a relationship. Okay. Now, you're two different people. You handle things differently. Somebody in that relationship could be better with money than the other, or y'all both could be good with money. But somebody can do something that they might spend more than the other. Let's just give it something to talk about. Okay. So say for example, your first argument after the honeymoon phase is that one person um, can't work well with money as opposed to the other person. And if you've been somebody that's been on your own for a while and you're coming into this relationship and you've always had money and the other person didn't, but they've still made it through, they still went through to get what they have to do to get to that point. All of a sudden, it wasn't a problem before, but it'd be a problem now. Well, how come you don't never have money? Or they'll start controlling your paycheck. But don't you get paid this week or don't you get paid next week? Well, you should already handle that because you got paid. How did something that was so generic get so personal and you all of a sudden have all the ideas and all the clues on how to tell the other person what to do with their money? You never contribute to helping them with any of their bills. You never asked how many bills they have. But all of a sudden, you've got all this knowledge and wisdom and know that you can tell them what to do and they're supposed to do it. And if they don't do it, then there's a problem because they don't know how to handle their stuff. But they've been handling their stuff all this time thus far. When people go through things, a lot of people try to not let what their life circumstances get the better of them. So they go forward the best that they need to go to. And some people don't even look at relationships or satisfy themselves because they got so much on their plate. If you ain't already guessed already, this is a personal thing I'm talking to you about. I'm very transparent, but I know I'm not the only one that's going through this, okay? Or have gone through this. But I know with me, I've been paycheck to paycheck for a very long time, all my life. Have I had it to a point to where I had a little bit over? Yeah, I did at some point, but it was always a little bit over because something always came up. I have 4 kids, grown folks now, but something always came up. My kids had every type of doctor. I had to take them to the doctors for everything that you can think of under the sun. So things come up, bills come up, schools, things come up. So your money, if you're have the house and you're taking care of your stuff, your money goes to things. But if you don't take the time to explain that to the other person, really you shouldn't. They know we have to live our life and do the best that we can. That should be a conversation though you have in the beginning before y'all get into that relationship. So that way, because money is always a problem in relationships. So if you are getting involved with somebody and they're not as rich as you or have as much money as you, then don't go below the belt because you have it and they don't. That doesn't change that person's character, that way the person loves, the way that person is, if they don't have as much as you have. or if they don't do things the way that you do it. We do things the best that we know how to, based off of what we're dealt with, and how we're taught, and how life challenges turn us. That's how we make it. Some of us have more than others. Some of us don't. Some of us don't look for the money portion in others because we're so focused trying to make sure we get what we got to go through as it is. So don't take advantage. You that have the money, take advantage of the one that don't. Don't start looking at this person less and you have not yet offered to help that person. You good enough to sleep with this person. You good enough to do all this other stuff with this person. When it comes down to handling life situations, you're not good enough to make it lighter for them. And this is not making nobody no gold digger. If you're getting involved with somebody and you are willing to take that relationship to a next level, why not help that person get to where you are? I'm not saying lowering yourself. You can still maintain and be where you are, but if you have something to help that person get up with you, then do that. Why don't we help people? Instead, we want to throw below the belt. Well, you should do this, and oh, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better because you said it. How about it get better with you helping? Period. And this only goes along with those that are wanting to keep the relationship going after the honeymoon phase. If you don't want to keep the relationship going after the honeymoon phase, don't waste that other person's time. Just skedaddle. Do what you need to do elsewhere. Let that person deal with what they have to get through or get on top of where they got to get back onto so they can flow where they got to go. And it could be vice versa. I didn't say no man or women. It could be man and women, women and man, women, man and man, whatever your preference is. And I'm sorry if y'all was saying stuff, I didn't see it, but you know. So I just wanted to talk about, and for those who just came on, this is a cup of conversation, food for thought. And we're talking about what things look like after the honeymoon phase and how, we have people that becomes in denial when they get their first real argument or real life situations. There were names that they called it. They call it the power struggle phase or the avoidance phase or the reality check phase, whatever you want to call it. It's the phase after the honeymoon phase. It's the phase that's going to let you know whether or not you're going to stick or stay. It's the phase that's going to determine whether or not you're going to be there to help each other or just be around each other for whatever purpose or benefit that you get from that person. I felt that this was an interesting topic because as I was scrolling through the internet and seeing all of the topics out, I was looking yesterday morning and I was scanning through. I'm like, do people work? There's a lot of people on these talk show lives later on in the morning. I come on at 5, and I'm not judging nobody who comes on afterwards, but I was just amazed at how many people were on the conversations, and they were like 5 or 6 people deep on the panels talking about relationships. This is like 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, wow. I come on at 5 o'clock because I got to work. But I was just amazed at how many people that was on during these times. So that's telling me that a lot of people got questions. A lot of people are withholding stuff or holding stuff in, and they need to let stuff out. That's letting me know that we have a situation. We have people that want to make things work. So that's what that was telling me. So it led me to talk more about relationships and talk about things within a relationships and point on different things that can help other people. During the or after the honeymoon phase, this is when you realize you've been gaslighted. This is when you realize that all this stuff was thrown on real strong in the beginning. You realize that, and please, if I'm saying something that's truthful, let me know. If I'm saying something that's off the wall, let me know. Because I'm here to uplift and encourage. And I know I'm not the only one going through what I'm going through or talking about what I'm talking about. There's somebody feeling what I'm saying out there. And I'm giving honor and glory to God because God's given me the opportunity and the mindset and the thought and the words to come out to say to you all out there. So I know I'm not the only one that's thinking this way. But after the honeymoon stage, that's when the gaslighting starts. That's when you realize, oh, they loved you so much at the beginning. They loved you. They thought you was pretty. They throw all this stuff out on you. Oh, I'm going to help you out. We're going to make this work. Or I want to be. everything that they can throw out to give you that confidence to think, oh, okay, maybe this can be, maybe this will work. Um, the insecurity throwing takes place. This is when you find out that that person, or maybe that person find out about you, that you're not as strong as you claim to be, or you don't have it all together as you claim to be. Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, had an interruption there. But after the honeymoon phase, this is when the masks come off, and people can really realize or see who they're dealing with. And it doesn't even have to be a 6 months phase. You could be talking with somebody for years, know somebody for years, and you can even give your disclaimers and tell people you're not the same person you was. You've changed. You're different. They can say up and down, no, you're the same person. Okay. Just be known. Just take full warning that I told you out of my mouth, I am not the same person I was. Now, see me, the old me, I would be so nice to you. I would cater to you. I would uplift you. I would encourage you. I would make you feel like you're the biggest man in the world. Because I did not put too much emphasis or care on me. I knew me and I knew what I had to do, and I didn't put the attention on me. I put it on the other person because, for starters, the person liked me. They wanted to be around me. So I said, okay, then I'm going to be the best person for them because I don't want people to leave me. People don't go in relationships thinking that that person is going to leave them or wanting them to leave. If you're somebody that think like me, if I get involved in a relationship, I'm going in a relationship to go forward, to make it go to where it needs to be. So I know how to cater and love on somebody. So I'm going to do that in the beginning of the relationship because I want this relationship to flow. No, I'm not being phony. That's a part of me. That's what I do. I heard somebody say, oh, so you want to be phony in the beginning? No, I'm not being phony in the beginning. I'm being myself. I am a loving person. I am someone that has so much love to give, and I know how to give it. My mistake in the past was I was giving it to the wrong people. Should have been giving it to me. I've learned now that I'm going to give me the best love that I can give me, and I'm going to make it through and be the best me that I can be, because it's me against me in this world. As we can see that relationships, people, they can love, they can no longer want to be around you, they can no longer love you, so they can leave you. I can never leave me. I'm going to always be around me whether I want to or not. It's a package deal. It's a stay all the way. You understand what I'm saying? So why would I be so wrong and keep doing bad with me when I'm going to have to deal with me anyway? So I've learned to love me. I've learned to put me first. I'm going to say that again for all the ones in the back, way in the back, that think that I'm the same person that was in the past. I am not. I'm going to love me first. I'm going to put me first. And I'm going to love me the best me the way I can love me first. And I know my love is good for the simple fact that I know how it feels for me to love me. And I know how it feels to those that lost a good thing and then try to come back to rekindle what was. My confirmation doesn't have to be yours, but it's mine. You find your confirmation and let that work with you. But yeah, in all seriousness, I I feel like this topic is important. I feel like this topic needs to be spoken about because a lot of people don't go forward because they can't get past this particular phase of the relationship. And the relationship can still be wonderful and awesome once you get past this phase. And this phase takes communication and conversation. Hello, thank you for joining the live. Good day to you as well. Um, Sometimes I come on, I hit and miss. My conversations flow, sometimes it don't. To each his own. But either way, I do believe that this conversation will help somebody. Even if it just helps one person, I've done my duty for the day. But seriously, we need to understand that love is unconditional. Love is past arguments. Love can go past the honeymoon stage. It's just up to you. And it's important to be honest up front. That way, when you get to this phase, Hello, thank you for joining the live. When you get to this phase, it won't hinder or cause anything bad in the relationship. It's just a hurdle that you guys can get over. But there's also a choice if that's what you want to do. That's also a marking in the relationship. Good morning. To see if that's where you want to go. If you want to go forward or you want to just let it go. But I'm gonna make sure I read all the tips that I have down here. That you both okay. And also, what I want to add on too is when you two people join a relationship, it's two people that lived their life way before they met. So they have a history, they have friends, or they don't have friends, but they have people around them, fewer or a lot or a little, whatever. They have things already put in place before you get together. When you get together, you communicate and you talk to one another. Share with them, I have friends or I have people I speak to. This is your time to talk to one another and get all that out of the way so things don't come up at the end of or during the middle or after the honeymoon phase. We are entitled to have friends. We're grown. If we have friends, whether some people feel like if you're a woman, you can't have male friends, and men feel you can't have women, or women feel like vice versa. Men can't have women friends, women can't have men friends. If that's your perspective on how things are, that's your perspective. You can't automatically just think that other person's supposed to change your mind because that's how you thought. I made the mistake of cutting all of my people off after I got married. When I got married and moved and relocated, everybody that was associated with me from that place, I cut off, except for my mom and maybe some family members that a few family members. Period. I did that. I left, took my family and my husband, moved someplace else with no friends. Mistake. I'm gonna tell you that's a mistake. If you had friends beforehand, don't lose your friends because you get into a relationship. My mindset was like, okay, I gotta focus on this now. I have to make this work. I know from past experiences and from my upbringing, the father wasn't in the life. So it was my personal goal to make sure that my family had a mother and a father, and we came together to make things work. Did you catch it when I said my perspective, right? That's what I thought. That was not necessarily the thought of my husband's. So I went and took something and I rode with it. I rode all the way to the bank and back with that concept. And then I was left with just me and my children. My husband passed away. I could have had someone to talk to and help me, cope and get my mind right. Yes, I had God, and that's who I spoke to. God was the person that I spoke to. I didn't realize at the time that I had a spirit team that was always there too, helping me get to and from my destination. I'm saying all this to say, if you already have a foundation before you meet somebody, you don't necessarily have to cut that foundation off. Now, if you're getting involved with somebody and you and this person is out in the open and you guys have a relationship, then that black book that you had of calling people up, whenever you had the need to, or whatever the case might be, then that you need to just get rid of that. Give it to your best friend. Give it to your boy. You don't need to have a plan B if you're married. And when I say plan B, I mean you don't need to have a chick or a man on the side to go to if your marriage doesn't work. That you don't need. But if you have friends, true friends that are there for you, friends that will say, "Listen, if you need to go take a weekend off, bring the kids my way. I'll be there. I'll take care of the kids. You go out and have some fun." That don't throw that away. That is something I never had. I had to deal with my situation by myself. I had my husband. My mother-in-law would come down every now and then. My mom would come down every now and then. But I didn't have anything else. I had to take on all of this stuff by myself. And it made me resilient. It made me stronger. But it made me struggle. And it was hard. It was hard. And I try not to let it show, but that doesn't mean it wasn't hard. Good morning. Thank you for joining the live. So let me help you in that standpoint. If you have friends that's there for you, friends that's going to that understand that you're a human and they understand that you have kids and they want to be a part of your life and you're true friends and they'll take the kids so you can get a break or whatever the case might be, don't lose those friends. I didn't have that. And then when my husband passed, People come to your house and bring food and everything like that so that the load is off of you and you can just kind of just take it easy and just mourn and do what you have to do. I didn't have that either. I had to cook food. I was burning everything. I had to still go to work. I was going to school. It was so much stuff that I had to do by myself. And if I did not have that mindset of cutting everybody off and moving forward, it probably wouldn't have been that hard for me. But because I did that, I had to suffer. And I'm saying this to make a point because now that you are in a relationship and you have a guy that said, well, you don't need a friend like, and it could have been a guy friend that was a friend like that would say, here, I'll take the kids. Or could it be a female friend, whatever the case might be. You don't throw that away because you need that help. And usually the person that's in the other relationship or other person, period, do not understand what you're going through the way that you're going through it. Only you do. So I hope I'm saying something that's interesting. I'm hoping I'm saying something that is going to reach some people out there and just not give out gossip for people to think that they can take this and run with it. And if you do by chance decide to do that, oh well, I'm the one that's giving it to you. And I'm talking about myself. So you're getting it from the horse's mouth, and I ain't got nothing to hide. I come on with the intention to uplift and to help. I give my personal information to you all out there to help you, to give you a better idea to see how things are and how things can be, a different perspective. Because I went through life with one perspective, thinking that things were supposed to be this way. Then I'm realizing people have their own perspective, and I really don't care for that word perspective or perception. Perception, not perspective. Perspective, not that. Perception is what I don't like. Because perception is something that can be starting off with something so personal, your perception, your idea, your way of thinking it. But then now you got other people that got to put their perception in, and they got to put their perception in. And that perception is a word that we have as an open word that we now can take something that's so personal and make it so broad, because now we got to add everybody else's perception, everybody else's understanding of it. So it has its purposes and so forth, but I just don't care for that word because it takes it away from your personal thought. Now it's what they say. It's no longer your personal thing no more. So now you got to be considerate of what everybody else thinks, because then now they put their point into the pot. Thank you for the flowers. But yeah, so if you are just coming on, we're talking about what happens after the honeymoon phase and how people can change on you. Everything can be so good in the beginning. Y'all can conversate and talk and think that you're on one level. And then all of a sudden, if somebody is struggling, when somebody is struggling, they don't want to help. They'll say, oh, I've done it too. I've done it by myself and I'm doing good. You ain't doing it quite like the way that I did it. And I'm pretty sure that you had other people there that helped you. If you didn't have other people that helped you, you had a foundation that was a little bit more solid than what I had to go. And so now, even in my old age, and I'm living life, and I still have struggles. I still have things that I have to go through, and I'm doing it the best way that I have, the best way that I know with what I have. Now, I did a video a while back. This is probably over a year ago, about how people can help people. And if God puts something on your heart to help somebody. But don't help somebody and then come back and throw it back in their face. Two things is happening when you do that. You're going below the belt, because the person that you lend the money to probably didn't want to ask you in the first place if they asked you. And then if they gave it to you, probably didn't want to receive it because in their mind, they knew that you're going to throw it back in their face anyway. But they took it because they needed it for that time, because they needed to get to the next level. And they probably paid you back. So it's even. So your comments about, oh, well, I gave you this is irrelevant because I gave it back. So I'm saying all this to say, when you do something for somebody, or if God tugs on your heart to help somebody, help them and let it go. If God put it on your heart, then God's going to bless you in the long run. That person doesn't have to pay you back. God put on your heart to bless somebody, then God's going to bless you when the time comes, or God has already blessed you. That is not your place to go back and say to the person, well, I gave you this, and this. What if God said, okay, my child, I've given you this because I love you. And then you go ahead and you live your life, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're at a low place, and God see that you're at a low place, and God just say, okay, my child, I gave it to you, and I didn't think you did well with it. So now I'm not going to give you nothing. You're going to have to make it on your own. Would you want to hear that from God? Absolutely not. The creator of everything, the one that has the spirit that has everything. Would you like to hear that? God tell you, okay, because you did this. I mean, come on now. We need to be compassionate to one another. And if you are with somebody, and if you can help them, help them. If you can't, you still can help them if it's not in the way that they want it or need it. And I'm saying it this way. I can be in a relationship with somebody that has a lot of money. I may not have any money, but I can still help that person. I can help them by showing them love. I can help them by being there for them. I can help them by being creative. I can help them in other ways if I don't have that way. And I'm not going to throw it in their face because I help because I want to. When I give because I have it. I'm not going to ask for it back. So and this whole thing started off about going below the belt. So if you get into an argument with somebody that you are involved with, and you don't know what going below the belt is, going below the belt is hitting them where they hurt. I'm a type of person, I hate to ask for anything. Now, I'm not going to say, okay, let me rephrase it, because I don't hate to ask for anything. I hate when I'm in need and I need a financial blessing or a financial help. I hate asking people for that. It does something to me. It feels like I got broken up with. My heart hurts. I get sweaty. I just don't like it. That's just me. And I can explain this to people and say that to them. And if they help me, I'm like, and if they give it to me, I know I need it because, God sent people to help you. And if you need help, get the help. So I said, okay, I'll say thank you and I'll receive it. But in my mind, I'm finding ways to try to come up with money to pay you back. I'm not going to say it to you. But now it's an extra burden on me. Now I got to figure, okay, I have borrowed this money. And I really don't have money to pay it back because I borrowed the money. But in my mind, I'm finding ways to try to come up with the money to pay you back. And when I pay you back, that means I took away from another bill to pay you back for the bill that I needed at that time. I don't know if y'all getting what I'm throwing at you. But I'm simply saying, don't throw below the belt. If you know somebody has a hard time with something and you feel that you have the upper hand, it's okay to argue back and forth, but calm yourself first before you come together to have that conversation that might be intense. And don't go below the belt. If somebody had a history of drinking or had a history of being real loose with themselves and you accepted all of that and continued on to be with that person, don't throw that back in their face. Don't go below the belt to try to do something to hurt them. I have somebody that wants to be a guest on here. Please be respectful and please bring something towards this conversation. Okay, I guess they changed their mind. They changed their mind. Oh no, are you there? Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Good.
I'm fine.
Do you have anything to contribute to this cup of conversation, food for thought? We're talking about after the honeymoon phase, or not? Are you in below the belt?
Just join so when I get a little bit so I can see if I can contribute something.
Okay. Did anything come to mind, or you say you're still looking? Listening.
I just joined, so I want to get something before I can see whether I can contribute.
Oh, okay. What I was talking about was, we're talking about after the honeymoon phase. Before the honeymoon phase, that's the beginning of the relationship. Everything is good in the beginning of the relationship, and you're feeling each other. But what do we do when we get past that phase? Have you ever been in a situation where it got really real after the beginning of a relationship?
Not really, but I have a little idea about it.
Okay. Share. Okay. So, what is it, the idea that you have? What happens after the honeymoon phase? Have you been in a relationship where somebody now says to you, we need to do this? Or if there's something that you did in the beginning they thought was cute and then they changed it and so they hung up, they got off. Like, okay, they're not on there. I'm just talking to me now and you all out there. All right, so I'm gonna leave that alone and go back to what I was saying. Um, and I left off at I don't know where I left off at, y'all. But anyway, if I'm saying something that is interesting, please let me know. If it's off the wall and it's one-sided, let me know too. But just to talk about, what I was talking about below the belt. So if somebody is arguing, or if you know that somebody has struggled over something and they finally overcame it, and then you go back and throw that in their face, that's below the belt. If somebody gives you disclaimers, and I'm one that gives disclaimers throughout my being. If I'm in a relationship with you, I'm gonna give a disclaimer. I'm gonna say, okay, well, you know what? I used to think this way, but I don't feel the same no more. My thoughts on this have changed, and that's not really a disclaimer. I'm flat out telling you, I'm not the same person. What you did before is now an issue for me, and I'm explaining what the issue was. And if I'm able to do both of that, then now it's a conversation that you can give me feedback on. Try to see if I can figure out another idea, another example. Good morning. Thank you for joining the live. I may have to retract because I done lost my train of thought again. And you know what? And I give honor and glory to God because people might be looking at you with hidden agendas, with things that they don't like, and they'll use the camera. They'll try to pull on your energy to try to pull you off topic or to make you forget. Now, sometimes old age can cause you to forget some things, but then there's also people out there with negative intentions, and they try to pull from off of what you're giving and try to make you forget. So if there are people out there that are doing stuff like that, I plead the blood of Jesus, and I give honor and glory to God, and I call back all of my good energy, and I call back to me to be cleansed and refreshed and renewed. And I ask God and my spirit team to just take over and to help set the atmosphere and to help set the tone so that the conversation can flow in the direction in which it needs to be. Because I know that some people may not want to take information from people because of what they thought they know or who they thought they were when they last met that particular person. And this is why I come on often and I use my disclaimer and say that I am not the same person I was 30 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. If by chance you think I am that same person, I am telling you from the words out of my mouth directly to your ears. I am not the same person I was 30 years ago. Not the same person I was 10 years ago. Not the same person I was 5 years ago. I'm not the same person I was at the beginning of the year. I am constantly growing and revolving. So are you. You're not the same person. And I have realized that there are some things that's in my life that I am not going to tolerate. And if I come across with you and I say it to you the first time, take it as what I say. Don't say, oh, okay, well, you know what? You're lying. You're not telling the truth. And if you want to be open about conversations and airing stuff out on the open, if I haven't called you, maybe because there's no need to call you. There's a time and a place to have conversations. And this is an atmosphere that I'm setting up to help people, to encourage people, not to discourage. I never claimed that I was coming on this live to try to meet a man. By no means. I am good. I've got God that's in me. And the love that God has, that she created within me, is the love that I have for me. And if people can't understand and respect that people have lives, they have to live things, and things is real, and so forth, if they don't talk to you, then maybe there's a reason why they don't talk to you. Don't come out here on the live and try to air our dirty laundry. I'm a good person. I'm a kind person. But I'm also a real person. So if you have hidden animosities or different things that you're throwing in my direction, subliminal messages, I'll just come out straight out and tell you back. Okay? Now, God gives us all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. If there's a part of you that's saying someone is not interested and you feel it, take it to God and ask God to explain it to you. Don't come on the air and try to embarrass somebody, because you might get embarrassed yourself. And I'm going to say this again. When I come on, my intentions is to help, encourage, uplift. That's what I come on for. I feel a pull in my heart, the heart that God lives in, to come on and to try to help people out here, help them overcome, help them become better, help them see things in a different perspective. That's why I come on. I do not come on here for any other reason. Now, if God bless me to meet somebody on here and it flows, to God be the glory. That will flow in a direction outside of here, not on here. I don't understand how I've come on here and I've been very nice, but I've lost a lot of people because they get mad at me because other people give me compliments. Why are you getting mad because people give me compliments? Thank you and move on. Would you like me to give you a compliment? I love all of you out there. I thank you all, beautiful and handsome individuals. Thank you for joining my live. It's much appreciated. Now, this was aimed for the person that threw that little remark up there. I hope we got an understanding. And I'm assuming we do, because I haven't seen no more comments. So thank you. Again, all of you. I am grateful. I'm very appreciative. I love you all for joining my live. But please understand, when I come on here intentionally with a purpose, and that is to help encourage you all out there. And if I help myself in the process, to God be the glory. That's why I come on. Period. I like to come on and have fun and laugh and everything. I think laughter is good for the soul. I think that I flow better when I'm happy and when I'm smiling and everything. But if I have to come on and be serious, it takes on a whole different atmosphere. So I appreciate all of you that come on here with the intentions of moving forward and helping others. And I appreciate you all for that. But I'm not obligated, nor are you obligated to be nobody but yourself. And that's why I try to be me. And I want you all out there to be you. Okay? So thank you. For those of you that just joined on, the conversation is about what happens after the honeymoon phase. Thank you, sweetheart. What happens after the honeymoon phase? First of all, I tell you all that the communication and conversation is very important. You must have conversations with one another. You can't just go through a relationship and get involved with somebody and not have no conversations. Because if you don't, when you get to that honeymoon phase, and that honeymoon phase can be anywhere from 3 months, 6 months, or if you have an on and off relationship, it can be 5 years after y'all get into a relationship because you have it on and off. You know, life be life in people's lives, and people have to learn to be honest with themselves. And I'm to the point now where I am so honest with me that I'm not going to let somebody else change who I am. I always tell you all out there to love yourself. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. You cannot give from a half full cup. You can't give from a full cup. You can only give from a cup that runneth over. Don't waste all the blessings and let it hit the floor. Grab that and share that with somebody. That's what you give to others. When your cup overflows. And when you have my mind shifted again. But if you have when you realize who you are, you need to love you, know who you are, know whose you are, and know what you carry. Those are very important tools you need to have in your belt. Always. If you know who you are, know whose you are, and know what you carry, then the world can't push you anywhere else other than where you want to be. Because you know you. It's you against you in this world. Period. Although this world would try to say, no, it's me telling you this and I say that. No, it's you against you, boo. Be confident in yourself. Love yourself and know yourself. It's you against you in this world. Period. You against you when you first was brought into this world. You against you as you maneuver through the middle part of the world. You against you as you leave this world. You can't escape you. So be your best friend. Love on you. And if by chance you get into a relationship and it doesn't last or it doesn't go in the direction that you want it to go into, don't lose sight of you. Don't lose who you are in the relationship. If you keep loving you and taking care of you, then when the relationship is not continuing on, and I'm saying relationship, not marriage, I still believe if you get married, it should be to the end. But you don't have to if it doesn't work out. So I'm sharing my belief, but you continue on with your belief. Don't make my belief your belief if you already have a belief, is what I'm saying. Good evening. Thank you for joining the live. How are you today? I don't know. I might stay on for an hour, go and then come back. I don't know. But I'm gonna stay on and as long as I can get some feedback. If it feels like it's fading out and nobody's interested, then I'll try it again later on. Do you have to use the entire can of Soul Glow? Funny. We got comedians in the house. Yes, I use the entire can of Soul Glow. The only difference is it's not dripping, okay? We got comedians in the house. But thank you for bringing the laughter back. It was needed. I might have to go watch Coming to America. I see you got Lionel Richie on us. Lionel Richie don't got a curl no more. He got an afro now. But every now and then I change it up. I have to. Wouldn't be me if I didn't. Now I'm interested to see how your hair is. What you got going on? I think it's cute. He used to. Yeah, he did during the criminal days. That was a mixture of Soul Glow and sweat. Oh, you got dreads. Okay. Maybe that might be my next look. Come out here on some dreads. You let me know then what that looked like. Probably more sweat than anything. Yeah. Them lights up there, them dances they be doing. They switch them hips more than the females switch their hips now. Back in the days with their dances. But yeah, it's just something different. And I might come on with something different this afternoon. We'll see. You know. That's all in getting to know yourself and having confidence in yourself. And don't forget about them costumes. Yeah, them costumes were like off the wall. Tight in the middle. Tall up on the shoulders. Like out of space. And then the bell bottoms. And the glitter. Don't forget the glitter. The shinier the better. But yeah. But for those who are just coming on, the conversation is, it was talking about after the honeymoon phase. What goes on or how do you handle situations after the honeymoon phase? And after the honeymoon phase, excuse me, what usually takes place is the avoidance phase or the gaslighting. You'll realize how you've been gaslit during the time frame. You talk about, then you also see the insecurities that one have that they'll try to place on the other. And on that one too, you know, we all carry some type of insecurity, whether you want to claim it or not. There is something that we're insecure about, whether it's height, weight, skin, pigment, or hair, nose, lips, whatever. There is something. Eyelashes, Try to recognize and know yourself so much that when people try to throw their insecurities on you, balding, that's another one. Um, funny, funny. There's solutions for all of that. But anyway, you love yourself enough to know that it's what they throw on you is not. In other words, know their insecurities and know yours, so that you're not putting on or taking on their insecurities. You have enough stuff to take on, so why take on somebody else's stuff? So continue to love you and to take care of you. And if you are all relationships going to have arguments. If you say that it's not, then I don't know what life you're living, but everybody argues. But you don't have to have it to be an argument to where it's going to end all. If you're angry and that person's angry, calm yourself down first and then take the attempt to talk to one another. Don't go with each other angry, because y'all both going to go below the belt. And before you know it, you're going to question, do I want this? I ain't got time for this. My time could be better. You're going to make it more than what it can be. So just be mindful that you're taking care of yourself and that you are coming into any type of situation, whether it's heated or not, in a calm state, as calm as you can get yourself to where it's not going to be you attacking the other person. So, but yeah. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining the live. Good afternoon. Oh, okay. It's 9:22 over here. Yeah. But yeah. So I hope this conversation was interesting. What's good? Nothing much. We're talking about, what things look like, how relationship looks after the honeymoon phase. What do people tend to do? That's when the power struggle takes on between each person. That's when people look at other people and try to throw their insecurities on one another, or they decided that they're not going to stick it out, or what something that the other person did was so cute turns out to be the very thing that they turn against. Like, for example, if you're two people, you have your own personal hobbies and all of the things that you do to keep you grounded, and things that you enjoy doing. If that's something you met in the beginning, and you know that keeps that person calm, don't try to take that away from the person. Don't try to discourage them from doing it. Don't try to take over what they're doing because you want to add either an argument, or you want to, I don't know, you feel that the attention that was no longer, that's fading from you is now on their hobbies. Don't try to take away somebody else's hobbies if they had those hobbies before you got there. Does that make sense? I can give an example to tell you dead on what I'm talking about, but I don't want to give too much of my personal information out. So I'm going to say as generic as I can. If by chance you enjoy doing something, and this was not a problem when you were dating, it was not a problem in the honeymoon phase, but if by chance you feel that their attention is on that hobby more than you, don't try to discourage that hobby away from them. Find out why the time is less with you and more with that hobby by having that conversation. Maybe there's something that you're doing that they're trying to stay away from you on, so that there's no arguments. But don't deter them from what they're doing. Find out what it is that allowed them to now have less time for you and more time for those hobbies, and work from there. I hope that came out clear, because it felt like it did. And it was very on point, not just on one side. So, but yeah, we are two individual people. You can't take one person in a relationship and make them all about you. And this is what I'm learning about some of these grown men. And I'm not saying all of them, because I don't know all of them. I'm just saying a few. I noticed that a few grown men who probably don't give the same as much as affection and attention that they do to women, but they want the women to stop what they're doing and give them as much attention when they want it, how long they want it, on the days that they want it, as if the women turn into robots and is on your beck and call. That is not how it works. Thank you. We have to realize that we're our own individual people. And if you are insecure, take ownership of your insecurity. Take that time to spend that one-on-one time and meditate and love yourself. Don't take your insecurities and put it on somebody else. And don't get mad if the other person recognizes what you're doing and calling out what it is that you're doing. Give credit where credit is due. Especially those that never gave their other half credit, but the other half always gave them credit. If the credit stops, perhaps it's about time that you start giving some credit to your other half. The topic of the day is, how do you handle your situation when the honeymoon phase is over? And I started talking about some things that, what it looked like when the honeymoon is over in your relationship, marriage, relationship, whatever you want to call it. But it's something that you're involved with that you're considering to make long term. So you're now past that phase that was the beginning, because everything is good in the beginning. And you're at that phase where your first argument take place, or you're at that phase where your first realization of, oh, this person got other things to do now. It's not all about me. Take place, or when you recognize it. And I gave some examples of what it looked like. You have to run it like a business. You have to run a relationship like it's a business? Is that what you're saying? She said it right there. I didn't say it. You can, okay, if that's what works for you to put things in order, then that's what worked for you. But everybody can't run a relationship like a business. Because a relationship, you have a lot more leeway than you do on a business. There's certain things you can't do in a business, but there's certain things you can do in a relationship. And it's more of priorities, and you have that communication, that conversation. Because I shared with somebody, and I shared with an example before. I don't know if you came on when I said it, about how we have our own things that we like to do in our own private time, things that we do to keep us grounded, things that we enjoy doing, things that we want to eventually make money off of, whatever the case might be. Short-term goals, long-term goals, and goals you have. Okay, thank you for breaking that down. Yes, okay, yes. That makes sense. Yes, if you're looking at it as goals and what you want to work together and things that you want to work with individually, absolutely. And that standpoint, yes. Make it plain. Some of us are literal. But thank you for bringing that up. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I was saying, don't try to, if someone is spending less time with you and more time in what they enjoy doing, find out what it is. Have that communication, have that conversation. Maybe there's something that you're doing that they don't want to cause and make an argument over, so they're spending time in their quiet place, in their place to keep them calm. So when it's time for them to meet you, there's no arguments. They're cool. Relationship is a job. It's like a business partnership. Both of you need to be present to make things work. Yeah. Or have that understanding, because you have people that have that long distance relationship. Sorry, yeah, I'm literal. So if I throw something out there outside of what you said, yes, what you're saying is plain and it's to the point. But so I hear things in my head, so I just got to say it out there too. For those that are literal, because I could be hearing somebody's voice or conversation. Communication with understanding, that's the key. Yeah. Yeah. And you have to, find some way to make sure they understand what you're saying, because people can just listen to you talk just so that they can get past that and on to the next thing. But you need to understand what the other person is saying and have respect for what the person is saying, for each person and what they're saying. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but yeah, and maybe I came on with this kind of in the wrong way. Because it was this particular topic was very compassionate to me, and I don't understand how some people throw their insecurities on other people. Like, somebody can say that you're needy or an attention seeker, but then the other person the attention seeker too. But if I'm not the type of person that brings that to your attention, but you feeling that, you're gonna throw that on me. Dumping. Yeah. So that's why when I talk, I often talk about men and women, because a lot of people pin things under women, but no, surprisingly, the men think the same way. So it's nice to have an open mind and realize and understand that we have the same type of emotions. We just deal with it differently. When you meet your other half, you already whole. I hear you. But you got to be whole before you meet your other half. And originally, back in the days, from what I heard, is 50-50 towards each other to make that whole. I don't think it should be 50-50. They're not there to make you. That's right. Okay, so as 100% of 100, 100% of another person come together, you already got to come to this relationship whole. And then the two whole people bring this relationship up onto another level. Somebody said that's the only time math will make sense. If you take 100 together, you move 100%. If that's what you want to say, 200% is even better. So just do what math be math, and put the 100 and 100 together and make it 200%. Knowing each other boundaries and accepting them. Yeah, but see, yes, you should know each other's boundaries and accept it. That's in the beginning. That's what you should establish before the honeymoon phase is over. In the introduction phase, women have the ability to increase understanding of work. Okay. Um, but 1 + 1 = 2, and 2 is better than 1. I agree. I agree. It's better for 2 because you can hold each other up when times get hard. You can hold each other up, then provide safety and security. It's nice that they're there to do it. If you have 2 and something happens to the one, there's still foundation there. So if you have kids on the way, they still have something to gravitate to. But yeah, 1 and 1 should be 2. And 2, you have that balance to keep each other up. But even if by chance 1 is taken away, you still have that 1 that can keep it going in the direction. And they can bring pretend these vibrations of little kids, bring them up to rise to the occasion through their teaching and wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. But still, with them, don't take it away and think it's going to be 1%. Keep in mind that 1 and 1 is 2, and you can bring it up to 2%. We just don't know what direction life will put us in or what we get dealt with. So, you know. But anyway, we are at that 1 o'clock mark, so I think I will stop and then come back on a little bit later and perhaps go outside and meditate and get grounded and maybe my conversation and hopefully I didn't put out anything negative for you all out there. I was trying to keep it as positive as possible. But life be life, and for all of us, we all have things that we're going through. How are you? I'm great. How are you? And maybe appreciate the therapy. Okay, well, thank you, y'all. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Saturday. I feel like individuals must understand this, his or her purpose first. I agree. You got to know who you are. You can't go into relationships not knowing who you are. You go in there lost, coming out and being in there something totally not what you want it to be. So know who you are. I know you cooking a big dinner for Easter. Absolutely not. But thank you all for joining. This has been a cup of conversation, food for thought. And the topic was how would you handle your situation after the honeymoon phase? I done changed that so many times, but y'all get the gist. So remember, God loves you, I love you, now you love you. Till next time, peace. Have a wonderful day. Cooking for my thoughts, yeah. Funny. All right, funny girl. End this stream.